it is now being announced that Stephon Diggs not only lost the Super Bowl, he also lost his girl in the same night.
Cardi B gave Stephon Diggs everything. Her platform, her loyalty, a whole baby. Then Super Bowl Sunday destroyed it all in one night. Did he really sneak another woman into his hotel room after the loss? And why is Offset claiming he won without even stepping on the field? I've got the full story. Let's break it down. The night everything went left. Aight, so boom. If you could freeze February the 8th, 2026, just pause the whole day like a DVR and look at what was supposed to go down, you would see what should have been one of the biggest, most lit, most monumental nights of Cardi B's entire life. Her man, New England Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs, was lacing up his cleats to play in Super Bowl LX at Levi's Stadium, and Cardi had spent the whole season, every single week of that grueling, emotional roller coaster of a season, being his #1 hype woman, his loudest supporter, the ride or die that showed up to games in the dead of winter, looking like she was ready to suit up herself. She was in the stands screaming until her throat gave out. She was on Instagram going crazy for this man. She built, post by post, game by game, appearance by appearance, the kind of public love story that had the whole internet drawing comparisons to the only other couple in sports and entertainment pulling that kind of attention, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And for a minute, that comparison was actually hitting. The cameras were on her at every game. The blogs wanted her opinion on everything. Fans were eating up the whole love story like it was a Netflix series dropping new episodes every Sunday.
Everybody wanted to see her at the games. They wanted to know her opinions, you know? They wanted to see her support for him.
But here's the thing about playing house in public. The thing nobody wants to acknowledge when they're too busy posting couple pics and writing captions about new chapters. Eventually, the real story comes out. And on Super Bowl Sunday, the real story didn't just come out. It kicked the front door down, flipped the table over, and let everybody in the neighborhood know what was really going on behind closed doors. Before the game even started, before a single snap, before the coin even hit the turf, something was clearly off between these two. A reporter pulled up on Cardi during Super Bowl weekend and asked the most basic, most softball question imaginable. The kind of question that should have been a layup for somebody who'd been out here cheerleading for months. What do you have to say to Stephon before the big game? And instead of the hype, instead of the energy, instead of the "we going to the Super Bowl" that had been her whole vibe for weeks, Cardi just looked at the reporter, said 2 words, "Good luck," spun around and bounced. Didn't even look back. That was it. No fanfare, no, "that's my baby and we about to run it up." None of that. Just "good luck." 2 words that said everything by saying absolutely nothing. And anybody who's ever been in a relationship knew exactly what that energy meant. Shorty was done before the game even kicked off. And the internet, you already know how that goes. The internet caught it immediately. Women all over social media started ringing the alarm, reading the body language, clocking the facial expressions, picking up on every single micro detail like a collective FBI unit specializing in relationship forensics. Something between these two had gone sideways, and it happened before a single second of football was played.
But it was not only the good luck, it was her facial expressions, it was her body language.
That kind of switch up don't just materialize out of thin air, and the reason behind it started making itself painfully obvious as the details leaked out. According to multiple reports, one of Diggs' other baby mamas pulled up to the Super Bowl with their kid, rocking his jersey, sitting front row like she belonged there. Now look, on its own, that might not seem like the craziest thing in the world. That's his child's mother. The kid deserves to watch their pops play in the biggest game of his career. But what made it foul was the context. This was a woman who reportedly had her baby before Cardi even got pregnant with Diggs' child, which means this man's overlapping situationships were now literally sitting in the same stadium, breathing the same air, cheering for the same dude. The disrespect was architectural, and it got worse, way worse. Reports started circulating that a woman named Pri, who was allegedly Offset's former side joint, was spotted at secured practice grounds with what looked like a Patriots hotel key card, suggesting she had direct access to Diggs' circle. Think about the levels of disrespect there for a second. Your ex-husband's alleged side piece is now somehow connected to your new man. You can't even make that up. That's the kind of plot line that would get rejected from a reality show for being too unrealistic. But it was happening in real time, in real life. Then the actual game went down, and it was a whole disaster from start to finish. The Seattle Seahawks washed the New England Patriots 29-13. It wasn't close. It wasn't competitive. It was a beatdown. Diggs was basically a ghost on the field. A couple of catches, 0 touchdowns, absolutely nothing that even remotely looked like the kind of big game performance you gotta deliver when the whole world is watching. And Cardi? She had popped out briefly during Bad Bunny's halftime show, a quick stretch for about 2 seconds in what most folks expected was gonna be a full-on, show-stopping collab. But right after halftime rap, Cardi dipped from the stadium entirely, didn't wait wait for the fourth quarter, didn't stand by her man in the tunnel after the L, didn't post nothing encouraging, she just ghosted.
You would be there, front row and center, to hold him and console him whether he lost or he won. The fact that she left speaks volumes.
And what made her leaving even more wild was what was supposed to happen afterwards. Cardi had reportedly dropped $1.2 million on a Super Bowl after party, a whole bag, thrown away on a celebration that never happened. $1,200,000 gone for a man and a night that both turned out to be massive L's. Then, just hours after the final whistle, Cardi and Stefon Diggs unfollowed each other on Instagram. A source told Entertainment Tonight straight up that the two had recently broke up, and while the door wasn't officially closed on reconciliation, everything about the situation was screaming that this wasn't just a little lover's quarrel. And then the most explosive claim of the entire night dropped. Unverified reports alleged that Diggs was caught sneaking his girl best friend into his hotel room not even an hour after taking that L in the Super Bowl. Now let's keep it a buck. That specific allegation ain't been confirmed by nobody with receipts. No photos, no video, no first-hand sources. But in the court of public opinion, the damage was already done. The streets had already made their verdict. Cardi posted a cryptic "done" on social media, and everybody from the blogs to the barbershops knew exactly what that meant.
And it is now being announced that Stefon Diggs not only lost the Super Bowl, he also lost his girl in the same night.
She wasn't just done with the game, she was done with the man. And the most heartbreaking part of all of it, she had a brand new baby with this dude. Their son was born barely 2 months earlier, on November 4th, 2025. 2 months. That baby ain't even rolling over yet, and his parents' whole situation is already up in flames. But here's the kicker that nobody could stop running their mouth about. Cardi B had been here before. She'd been through this exact same movie. And the man from that first go-round? Oh, he was watching every single second of it, and he had plenty to say. A history of heartbreak and Offset's long game. To really understand why Offset's response to this whole situation hit like a freight train, why it landed so hard and echoed through every timeline, every group chat, every comment section, and every barber chair for days, you gotta first understand how deep, how painful, and how completely Cardi B had invested in getting away from him in the first place. Because this wasn't just some regular celebrity breakup followed by a quick rebound. Nah, this was a woman who had dragged herself out of one of the most publicly toxic marriages in hip-hop history, stitched herself back together piece by agonizing piece, and then, eyes wide open, heart on her sleeve, thinking she'd done the work, walked right into something that might have actually been worse. Out the frying pan, dead into the fire. Cardi and Offset's love story was the type of messy, dramatic, larger-than-life saga that hip-hop had been romanticizing for years. The secret wedding behind closed doors in Atlanta in September 2017. The over-the-top public proposal at a concert weeks later, even though they were already legally hitched. The birth of their daughter Culture in 2018 that made everybody believe these two were building a dynasty. But underneath all of that flashy exterior, beneath the matching drip and the Instagram flicks and the collabs, the whole thing was falling apart from the jump. Videos of Offset with other women surfaced almost immediately after the wedding. And from that point on, the cycle of cheating, crying on live, making up, and then more cheating became the defining feature of their entire marriage. It was like clockwork, toxic clockwork. Cardi filed for divorce in September 2020, then pulled it back. She went on Instagram Live in December 2023 and told the world she was single, unfollowed Offset, and then filed the papers again for real in July 2024. By that point, baby girl was cooked. She'd had enough. And it wasn't just the creeping that broke her.
And he just makes me feel safe and very confident and very strong. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was literally having a panic attack.
That clip right there is Cardi talking about Stefon Diggs. But the whole reason she needed that level of safety and reassurance was because of what Offset had done to her spirit. She later came out and revealed that her marriage had become dangerous, that it put her in the deepest depression where she couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't work. She said she was scared the emotional back and forth was going to push her somewhere she couldn't come back from. Sis was falling apart, so when Stefon Diggs slid in and told her those words, she kept repeating in every single interview after.
And one time he just told me it's let me heal you. Give me a chance for me to heal you. And it's okay.
Cardi bought it. She opened the door she'd spent months deadbolting shut. She stayed single for 6 months after Offset. 6 whole months of being with herself, healing off the radar, learning what it felt like to not be in a constant state of emotional warfare. And then she let Diggs walk in. By June 2025, they were all over the gram, yacht flicks, captions about new chapters. By September, she was sitting across from Gayle King on CBS Mornings, announcing her pregnancy to the world, glowing like everything was finally right. By November, their son was born. Was it fast? No question. Almost too fast. But Cardi believed, really, genuinely believed, that she had finally found her peace after years of nothing but chaos. And that's exactly what made the red flags hit so different when they started stacking up. Diggs wasn't just some regular athlete with a messy past. This man had fathered at least 6 kids with 6 different women, 4 of them born in 2025 alone. Bro was repopulating out here like it was a mission statement. On top of that, he was facing a felony strangulation charge from December 2025 involving an alleged incident with his former chef, charges he denied, calling them pure fiction, plus additional lawsuits for defamation, alleged assault on an influencer, and a web of baby mama drama so tangled it made Offset's situation look like a Disney movie.
That's absolutely absurd. That's first of all. But second of all, if you believe that just because of her name or her brand, that is going to make a tiger change his stripes.
And that's the part that hurt people to their core watching this play out, because Cardi saw all of this. She reportedly drew a hard line early in the relationship, told Diggs straight to his face, if he messes up, if another woman comes forward with a baby after they made it official, it's a wrap. Done. Finito. She was trying to learn from the Offset era. She was trying to protect her peace, but the pattern caught up to her anyway. Now let's bring Offset back into this. When Cardi first went public with Diggs around April 2025, Offset played it cool. He publicly said he was happy for her after Coachella footage of the new couple went viral, but that happy for her energy had an expiration date and it expired quick. By June 2025, Offset posted and then deleted a tweet calling Cardi's relationship rollout good PR, and the streets read that as pure, uncut shade. By September, when Diggs made his debut playing for the Patriots, Offset hopped online and responded with one word: trash, plus the emoji to match. And by December 2025, rumors were circulating about an alleged club scuffle between Offset and Diggs, claims Cardi denied. But the tension between these two men was clearly simmering closer and closer to a full boil. Then, January 2026 dropped, and Offset made the move that would end up looking like straight prophecy. After Diggs got hit with that strangulation charge, which once more he firmly denies, Offset slid onto social media and posted 2 words that shook every timeline on the planet: I won. No hashtags, no explanation, no hour needed. Everybody, and I mean everybody who had been following this tangled love triangle, knew exactly who he was talking about, knew exactly what he meant, and could practically feel the petty satisfaction dripping off of every letter.
I think it's funny to be like, Offset won the Super Bowl, but I truly
That's hilarious.
I truly do believe.
That's hilarious.
And yo, it was low-key hilarious in the most dark, ironic, petty way imaginable. Because Offset didn't do nothing to win. He didn't change. He didn't become a better man. He didn't level up his character. He just sat back and waited. He let the new dude crash and burn on his own. And when it happened, on the biggest stage in American sports of all places, Offset was right there courtside with the popcorn, ready to gloat. The parody fan account Alt-Right Arapsis, a self-described Nicki Minaj fan and parody page, captured the internet's whole mood in one viral post that racked up over 6.7 million views. Cardi and Stefon Diggs just unfollowed each other. She had his baby 2 months ago, and he was caught tonight sneaking his girl best friend into his hotel room, not even an hour after he lost the Super Bowl. Stefon Strangler Diggs is worse than Offset. The post featured a manipulated clip of Margot Robbie, most likely pulled from The Wolf of Wall Street, AI edited, so it looked like she was rapping the diss in character as Barbie, tying into Nicki Minaj's whole persona. Fan wars, celebrity tea, and deepfake technology all crashing into each other in one single viral moment. You really can't make this stuff up, and the comparison sitting at the center of that post, worse than Offset, became the question that dominated every timeline, every group chat, every salon, and every comment section for days. Was Diggs really worse? Offset cheated his way through a whole 7-year marriage, but at least Cardi had history, 3 kids, and years of memories as reasons to try and make it work. With Diggs, the whole operation blew up in under 2 years, and there was a 2-month-old baby caught in the wreckage. The speed of the implosion is what made it feel so much more grimy. The aftermath and what comes next. In the hours and days that followed Super Bowl Sunday, the internet went absolutely ballistic. We're talking a full-blown, no-filter, gloves-off spectacle of reactions, hot takes, memes, and straight-up roasting from every corner of the culture. Celebrities, sports commentators, hip-hop media personalities, podcasters, and hundreds of thousands of regular folks were all chiming in from every angle, and not a single soul was holding back. The timeline was on fire. 50 Cent, because of course it was 50 Cent, went straight to social media to troll Stephon Diggs, clowning him for fumbling the bag on the field and in his relationship in the same night. Ex-users were absolutely ruthless. One post that went viral read, "Not Stephon Diggs losing the game and the girl the same night." Another user dropped what a lot of people were already thinking. What do you expect from a dude that got 50 women pregnant this year? The jokes were hitting from every direction, and the memes were absolutely ruthless. But underneath all of the clowning and the screen recordings and the viral tweets, there was a real, legitimate conversation happening. A conversation about patterns, about choices, about what it really means to keep putting your trust, your body, your future, and your whole heart in the hands of somebody who clearly don't deserve it, and whether the blame for that falls on the person doing the trusting or the person doing the violating.
Imagine using your social capital for a man who had his court date pushed back so he can make it to the Super Bowl and then lose. It's truly embarrassing.
That observation hit different because it was the truth, and nothing but the truth. Diggs' February 13th court date for the strangulation charge had been pushed back specifically so he could play in the Super Bowl. The whole legal system made an exception for this man, bent over backwards to let him have his moment, and he still fumbled. No ring, no W, and now, possibly no Cardi either. L after L after L.
If I ask you, let me ask the audience. It is embarrassing for someone as talented as you are to be associated with a man who has multiple accusations, charges, lawsuits, and lost the Super Bowl.
And the part that made the whole thing sting even more, the part that had everybody in the comments going off, was the social capital equation. Throughout the entire relationship, from the very first public sighting to the very last Instagram unfollow, Cardi was the one doing all the heavy lifting. She was the one posting about his games. She was the one bundled up in the freezing cold at every stadium. She was the one who stood beside him and went to bat for him publicly when those strangulation charges hit the fan and the entire world was telling her to pack her bags and run. She gave and she gave and she gave, and what exactly did she get in return?
We don't see him hyping you up. Matter of fact, when he was asked about if you were going to get a ring, he joked and said he got to get one.
The exchange that had everybody talking was when Funny Marco asked Diggs about putting a ring on Cardi's finger. And instead of saying something real, something from the heart, the man basically played it off. He got to get his Super Bowl ring first. It was playful, sure, but it was also telling.
Yeah, I wish things could have went another way, but you know the money, huh?
Stephon, I have a question. After you get your ring, is Cardi getting her ring?
Well, the Seahawks made absolutely sure that neither ring was happening. And the internet summed the whole thing up with one devastating bar. Offset won the Super Bowl without even putting on a jersey.
She's broken, she decides to divorce Offset and leaves Hell. So then her next option was Super Hell and decided out of all the options to choose from, she chose Stephon Diggs.
Now, some people looked at this entire situation and threw all the blame directly on Cardi for what they saw as a fumble of her own making. But that take is missing something crucial. The commentators who were locked in on this story from day one pointed out that this was never really about one woman making one bad pick. It was about a pattern, a system that keeps extracting emotional labor and loyalty from women while giving them absolutely nothing. Not a ring, not respect, not loyalty, not even basic common decency in return.
Let them go. Y'all are bigger and better without them. Y'all are doing phenomenal things that y'all do not need to be attached to these trash men.
And that message right there, the idea of just letting these dudes go and choosing yourself, became the loudest takeaway from the entire mess. Because when you strip away all the noise, all the drama, all the memes and the petty posts, Cardi B is still one of the most successful female rappers to ever do it. She's got a Grammy on the shelf. She's got anthems that defined a whole generation. She's got 4 kids who need their mama present and solid. And she's got a Little Miss drama tour kicking off February 11th, literally 2 days after the breakup news went nuclear. Meanwhile, what Stephon Diggs got on his plate? He's staring down a February 13th arraignment. His NFL career is a question mark. As one commentator put it, the league can deal with a lot of things, but being a loser with serious charges on your jacket is a combination that gets you cut real quick. When they asked him after the game what's next, his answer was basically vibes, no plan, no certainty, just vibes. And Offset is posted up, co-parenting his 3 kids with Cardi, watching the man who replaced him collapse on the biggest stage in the world like a building with no foundation. He admitted in a 2025 podcast that his own creeping and lack of respect were what drove Cardi away in the first place. He owned his mess, at least in words, but his moves after the breakup told a whole different story. The deleted tweets, the trash comments, the I won flex, it all painted the picture of a man who might have grown enough to admit fault behind the scenes, but was still 1,000% willing to twist the knife when the cameras were rolling.
And if this is healing, keep it away from me. Whatever type of healing this is that he was offering you, you might want to go and write a essay about this, because this could not be.
Let me heal you. Those were the words. That was the whole pitch. That's what Stefon Diggs told Cardi B when she was at her lowest, when the scars from Offset were still raw, when she was trying to remember what it even felt like to trust somebody without bracing for the betrayal. And she bought it. She left one busted situation, took the time she thought she needed to rebuild herself from the ground up, and walked with open arms straight into another one that self-destructed even faster, and arguably even more publicly. The healing never pulled up. What showed up instead was a Super Bowl loss, unverified cheating rumors, baby mama drama literally in the front row, $1 million party that nobody came to, and a breakup that detonated in front of millions of people who had nothing better to do than watch, react, and pick sides. But if there is one single, undeniable, inarguable thing that Cardi B has demonstrated time and time and time again, through every heartbreak, every scandal, every public embarrassment, and every moment when the world had her counted out and written off, it's that she does not stay down. She might trip, she might pick wrong, she might love too hard and move too fast and believe the wrong words from the wrong man, but she always, without fail, gets back on her feet. She always drops the music. She always hits the stage. She always reminds every single person watching exactly why they was riding with her in the first place. And on February 11th, 2026, just 48 hours after the breakup heard around the world, while Stefon Diggs is getting his court outfit together, and Offset is posting cryptic W's from his living room, Cardi B is going to be standing under those lights in Palm Springs, opening night of her tour, performing for thousands of fans who pulled up because they believe in her talent, her grit, and her ability to bounce back from anything. Because at the end of the day, the only ring that ever truly mattered, the only one that was never going to fumble, never going to cheat, never going to fold on her, was the one waiting for her on the stage where she has always and will always belong. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.